Okay, it's quite a controversial one. Salam Thanat. Can a woman get raped by her husband? Islamically, you're not supposed to refuse your husband if he wants to get intimate. However, if you don't and he forced himself on you, can you Islamically classify that as rape? This is confusing. Obviously, a man should never force, but he did. Given that he's her husband, would you call it rape? Okay, 100% there is rape in Islam, first of all. Let's clarify that. There is rape in Islam. The fact that okay, I'm going to put myself in that situation. If this was my husband and he forced himself on me and I didn't want to get intimate with him, what would I do? And he forced himself and he had intercourse, etc. What would I do? Would I classify it as rape? Yes, I would. Would I call the police and make a rape allegation? No, I wouldn't. At the start, I would sit and talk to him. I'd try and understand why he did it, and if he thinks it's acceptable. I think that's the main thing. If he feels like he's done wrong, then obviously that's something. He's your husband at the end of the day. There's no point, like, especially if he knows, he like recognizes it's wrong, then there's no need to sort of take it and escalate it further. If he feels like he's done nothing wrong, I guess we have to look at why. I don't know if you're talking about yourself or someone else, but I think it's about someone else because it says, but this is confusing. Obviously, a man should never force, but if he did, given that it's her husband, you're talking about someone else. Maybe, I don't know, it could be yourself or someone else, whatever it is. The question that needs to be asked is the wife. Why does she not want to get into it? Is it just like a random thing, or is she just genuinely not feeling to be intimate with him as a long-term thing? Like maybe, you know, the attraction's not there anymore. In any case, it's not acceptable for him to force himself on you. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, as a Muslim wife, you're supposed to sort of like submit to your husband's needs to a great extent, but not at the compromise of your own sort of like, you know, your own well-being and your own sort of rights, you know, as a human being. I mean, I'm sorry, I just hate people who try to make Islam seem so barbaric. And so I literally just Googled rape, just an example. I Googled rape in Islam and I got like random sites saying there's no such thing as rape in Islam. A woman can't say no to her husband. And some websites said there is rape, but it's only rape if it's a Muslim woman, and if a Muslim man rapes a non-Muslim woman, it's not classified as rape, which is crazy. Like, crazy. Like, if you just sit and think about it, do you think God is going to be like, yeah, you know what, that guy raped a non-Muslim woman, I'm going to let him off? Like, how do people even think? How do people come up with this crap? Seriously. Anyway, yes, he cannot force himself on it. Like, we're not animals. We're all human beings. We interact. You know, you have to be good-hearted. You have to be, you know, considerate of people's feelings. And by the sounds of it, this person wasn't considerate of his own wife's feelings. So, I don't know if you're asking for what to do, but you're asking, would I call it rape? And I would call it rape if he forced himself so much to the point that he did have intercourse and she really, really, honest to God, didn't want it. So yeah, it was. And I would try and talk to him and see how he feels about it, and if he feels remorseful for what he's done. Obviously something that you could work with. If he's not, then I would sort of rethink the relationship that I was in with my husband. Why don't I want to be intimate with him? And the fact that I have a husband who thinks it's okay to force himself on me. I would definitely rethink that relationship, that marriage even. But I guess it's difficult when you have children and everything. But I'm sorry, not children, there's no reason to stay in a relationship like that. Not for the actual act of rape, forget that. If you even want to forget it. But the fact that there's no communication at all, it doesn't sound like there's any communication. Like, how do you even do that? How do you force yourself in this day and age to get intimate with your wife and she doesn't want it? And I'm sure, like, Like, I can't even imagine that happening to any one of my friends or people that I know. I can't, with the people that maybe I socialise with, but you know, you just never know. So, in response to your question, would I call it rape? Yes, I would call it rape. I would speak to the husband, the wife, obviously not an outsider. Speak to the husband, unless you've got close relatives around you that can open up the subject with him. I'd speak to the husband and see what his take is on it. If he's remorseful, I'd be able to work with that. If he's not remorseful, then I would sort of try and rethink the relationship and if it's something that I would want to stay in, to be honest with you.